For years, the K-pop industry has been dogged by complaints of high pressure and bullying. And now an Australian-born K-pop star, Hanni, who is a member of the group NewJeans, has made an emotional appeal for young artists to be treated better by the industry. She's made those comments at a parliamentary hearing in South Korea, detailing her experience of workplace bullying. So let's get more on this. Dr. Sarah Keith is a senior lecturer in media and music at Macquarie University. Dr. Keith, we had this tearful testimony from this Vietnamese Australian. We'll get to that in a moment, but zooming out firstly, what is this inquiry in South Korea all about?
So this is a hearing about workplace harassment that's been called by the Labour Committee of the National Assembly. And there has been a lot of focus on harassment in both South Korea's entertainment industry and throughout labour practices. So since 2019, the Labour Standards Act has explicitly stipulated prohibition against workplace harassment. And since then, there have been increasing reports. So it's now a national priority, according to the Ministry of Employment and Labour.
And what's the nature of some of the claims that have plagued the K-pop industry sort of behind the scenes in recent times?
There have been complaints for the last few decades about mismanagement in the K-pop industry. What's new with Hanni's testimony and allegation is that she's specifically alleging that she is being bullied and mismanaged and harassed by her current management. This is all also part of a larger dispute between the group and their management. But regardless of the context, it's interesting that a K-pop artist is going public during her career with these kinds of allegations.
Yeah, and it was a very emotional testimony, wasn't it?
Yes, it was. So she's alleged that she has been ignored and basically dehumanized by her co-workers and by her new management. And there's been quite a lot of public attention to this whole case as it's emerged. And there's a lot of public support for her as well.
And can you give us a little bit more detail on the backstory of NewJeans, their producer's recent sacking and also the group's decision to go public with this?
Yeah, it's a very complex story and notable for how public it has been in terms of the allegations that have been going back and forth between the management agency and the group and their previous manager. So the group was established in 2022 by Hee-jin, who is an established creative director in K-pop. The group NewJeans was a breakout success when it debuted. And from April 2024, there has been basically public dispute between their management company and their creative director, Hee-jin. The allegation is that she was trying to break away from the entertainment company with NewJeans, and she has effectively said that NewJeans were not being treated well by the management company. So there is something of an ownership dispute over who gets to manage NewJeans. And so the group are speaking up publicly, asking for Hee-jin to be reinstated. Likewise, their parents have been involved and are asking for her to be given control of the group again.
So stories like that and also this inquiry that's underway, how big a story are these in South Korea?
It's absolutely a subject of public fascination, and the amount of column inches, memes and speculation that have arisen over this case is unprecedented, I think, in K-pop. And it's really shining quite a light on the management practices in K-pop, and I think has caused a lot of problems for South Korea's largest entertainment company at the moment, Hybe.
What's expected to come from this inquiry, given how competitive this industry is?
South Korea has been quite interested in recent years in enacting legislation to protect its K-pop idols and to protect the industry. So there were labor laws that were brought in a few years ago to ensure that particularly its younger stars were treated well and fairly. And the outcome is likely to be a refinement of the legislation about harassment and bullying. But the problem is likely to be how this legislation can be actually enacted in day-to-day management practices.
And for NewJeans, as just an example, I mean, they're contracted till 2029. One of the band members just 16, and to break that contract, it's reportedly hundreds of millions of dollars.
Yeah, that's right. So under an exclusive management company, management contract, to break a contract, the group will have to pay the sum of sales for the next 2 years plus the investment that they've received. So it's been estimated that for NewJeans, that would be roughly 150 million US dollars for them to cover the remaining 60 months of their contract.
Dr. Sarah Keith, Senior Lecturer in Media and Music at Macquarie University, thank you for speaking with us.